Hey guys, Yuliya here. So this video is going to be a holiday gift guide for gardeners. So if you have a gardener in your life that you're shopping for this holiday season, or if you're a gardener, which you most likely are because you're watching this channel, I may give you some ideas as for what to get for a gardener in your life or maybe for yourself this holiday season. So I will start with these beautiful Bergs pots, and these are my favorite terracotta pots. I think the design on these is just stunning, but I also feel like all of my plants that I plant in these pots perform a lot better than in any other pot. And I have been reusing these pots over and over again since I got them. I had Christmas roses in these last holiday season. I had some annuals in these this summer. And I also bought this larger Bergs pot I think it was end of summer. Our local nursery had sales on them. And this one actually had even a bigger sale because it has a chip in it and it didn't have a saucer. But they are not that easy to find, you guys. And I actually get a lot of questions asked all the time I show these pots. So I found two places online where you can get them, White Flower Farm and Terrain, and they are all having sales right now, so definitely check them out, and I will post all of the links to all of the things that I will be showing you today in the description down below. Okay, I'm going to move these pots aside because I wanted to show you this next item here. So this is a cloche. It's a glass enclosure for houseplants that need a little bit more humidity than what your home can provide. And we have very low humidity in our house in the winter because of the heat. And I have a lot of houseplants that need higher humidity. And cloches have been so incredibly helpful to me. So this one I actually bought in a local home store. They had a big sale, and cloches that look like this a lot of times are a little bit more expensive because they are considered a decorative item rather than like functional item. And I do think they are absolutely beautiful. If you put a cloche over your houseplants, that just elevates it right away. But at the same time, I found this one here for $3 in our local nursery. So definitely look for some deals for your cloches. So along the lines with cloches are terrariums. And I had an obsession with terrariums probably 4 years ago. If you go back to my videos, it was just terrarium after terrarium making video in the winter because I think they are just so beautiful, and putting them together actually trains your eye for design, for plants and landscape design in sort of a miniature scale. So this particular one I actually got in Target, I think that was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And it does come with the stand. So you can either display it as is or have it on the floor and put the terrarium over here. If I'll find a link to this one, I'm not sure if it's still on sale. I will definitely post it in the description down below, and I will also post the description of the plants that I had here a few years ago. I had to take them out because they just outgrew their space, and that is the thing with terrariums, you know, plants outgrow their space. But they are so good for your house plants. I've had a terrarium, actually an aquarium that I converted into terrarium for now almost 5 years, and the plants are still there and they're healthy and thriving. Now you don't have to get a terrarium big as this. I have this little cute terrarium that I think Michael got at a garage sale somewhere, and all I did a couple of days ago is just put some soil, and I scraped up some moss off our driveway, and I put a holly branch in here. And I think it's just the most adorable thing as a gift for someone, or even something to make yourself and display in your house. So another sort of terrarium that I made, I think it was about 3 years ago now, is the Christmas ornaments with some plants inside. So this is the only one I actually have left. It has baby tears in here, and it has been growing here all this time, and they're really happy. I did lose the top part of this. I didn't lose it. It's probably in my Christmas decor somewhere downstairs. So when I find it, I actually do put it on our Christmas tree just like this. But during the summer, it kind of lives in this little pot right here. But I made Christmas ornaments, clear Christmas ornaments like this with phytonias, with air plants. You can be so creative and have it either displayed on your Christmas tree, or that could make an amazing gift for someone as well. So the next number of items will be dedicated to birds. And I love having birds in my garden. Seeing them in the garden brings me so much peace. I think they are so beautiful, but they're also incredibly beneficial to the garden. They keep the insect population in control. So what I did this year, around this time of the year, we start to supplementally feed the birds, and I found this most adorable bird feeder on Monticello website, and it is a pine cone. It's just so adorable. It's made out of resin, and it looks more like a sculpture to me than a bird feeder. There are 10 cups here on the bottom. That's where you put in the seeds, but I actually fill the whole thing with the seeds because it lasts a lot longer. This bottom part usually lasts a couple of hours, but if you fill the whole thing with seeds, it'll last almost the entire day. Now, it is not squirrel proof, but I rarely see squirrels on this. Not sure why, they just don't prefer this particular bird feeder. We do have a number of other bird feeders in the garden, including the squirrel proof ones. When people visit me and they see this particular one, they're just blown away that it's an actual bird feeder because they think it's a piece of sculpture hanging in the garden. Another bird item that I think would be a great gift for a gardener who loves birds, or maybe you if you love birds, is a birdhouse. So I never had a birdhouse until this year. And then I decided to get one at our local historical farm, which is called Morgan's Farm. And I will post a link to that farm in the description down below. I know it's probably not local to you, but you can check them out. And Farmer John there makes these birdhouses and tons of other things. And I love supporting local businesses. So we bought a few of the birdhouses. I was not expecting anything to happen, but within a couple of weeks, we had a bird family move in. I think it was a family of wrens, and they raised their family in this birdhouse. I thought it was the most amazing thing ever. So I think I may get just a few more and hang them everywhere in the garden, because it is one of the ways to attract birds to your garden. And I thought it was just fascinating to watch those birds. Parents feed their young almost every 10 minutes. Okay, so another thing that is sort of bird related. So I found this cage in a store called At Home. And if you have that store where you live, it is amazing. First of all, for decor, both inside the house and outside the house, and also deals. They have a lot of deals pretty much all year round. So I bought this bird cage and I put suet in here. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I put a piece of suet right here, and birds just come over and they eat it up. I'm not sure if it was intended for that use, but that's how I use this. Also, in the same store At Home, I bought this most beautiful watering can. And not only is this beautiful, but it's actually really functional. It has very thin spout. And a lot of times I struggle watering my succulents because my regular watering can, the spout is just too wide and the water comes out too quickly. But this watering can is perfect. And another thing that I found in the same store At Home are these labels. I actually have a bunch of others. They're like the most decorative things. I think it's just elevates the vegetable garden or my winter kitchen garden to a whole new level. Another type of items that make great gifts are lanterns. So Michael is obsessed with lanterns. Anytime we go to a nursery, if there's a lantern there, he tries to buy it. I'm sort of trying to limit this obsession at this point, but we have a number of lanterns we put out in the garden, and it just adds so much ambiance. And then we bring them inside the house. But the problem was we couldn't find the right candles for these lanterns. The regular candles, there's a safety issue. You have to remember to blow them out. And then Michael got these little lights, like LED lights, and he had to turn them on and off every night. And then I found these beautiful candles. I think I have some here. These you can turn on automatically with a remote control, just like this. I mean, isn't this amazing? And then they look like real candles, because a lot of other LED lights, they have that cool kind of cold glow, but this has the warmth of a real candle. So if you are getting a lantern for someone, I think it would be also a great idea maybe to get the light that comes with it. And I think it's just such a great gift, either for the garden or even inside the house. Since we are in the subject of light, I wanted to show you these beautiful star-shaped fairy lights. I bought 6 and I hung them in front of our garden on our dogwood tree. And when they come on at night, it makes me so happy. I get so silly about these things. But the one thing about these lights that I found a little bit of a struggle is to position these tentacles, I don't know what you call these things, kind of in the right way, so they're proportionate. But other than that, I just love these lights. They are solar. They have different, here I have to put it down so it's on. They have 6 modes that they can light up as. And yeah, just love these. I think these will be great, not just for Christmas, but any times of year, and also great as gifts. So they're gifts for the gardener in your life, they're gifts for you, but what about the garden? The garden needs gifts too. And one of the things that my garden and my plants really liked over the last couple of years is this support right here. This is called Heirloom Panacea plant support. And it's pretty tall, like this. And I've grown all sorts of things on this support, peas, cucumbers, watermelon. And I think I've had this for probably 3 years. It is metal, but it is as good as new. And it's really hard to find support that doesn't peel or doesn't chip. I'm really happy with this one. Even when nothing is growing on this, oh, actually one more thing I forgot, I have clematis growing up it. Even when nothing is growing on this, it is so decorative. I just love to just have it in the garden, just as is. Another support for the garden is this Tudor, and correct me if I'm pronouncing Tudor incorrectly, but I really like this support as well. This is from Monticello, just like this pine cone right here. And the look of this is just perfect for our house. It's a colonial look, and I have grown peas on it. You can grow clematis and other vining plants. However, it is made out of willow with tiny little nails. So I'm not sure how long this particular support will hold up in the garden, but as you can see, it could stretch quite wide like this. And even when nothing is growing on it, again, just like with this heirloom support, it's incredibly decorative. Actually, I can see sweet peas growing on this next year. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about tools as gifts for gardeners because tools are very personal. We all have different bodies and different size hands, And I think to find the right tool for you, you should try as many tools as possible. For example, as for the pruners, my favorite are ARS, which are on the pricier side, and the next ones are Fiskars, which are definitely less expensive. I am not a big Corona or Felco fan, but they do work really well for other people, and that is great. But there's one tool that I wanted to mention because I love it so much, and I think you will love it too, is a Cobra head weeder. I love this tool so much that when I lost one of these in the compost pile this summer, I just rushed to the computer and I ordered another one because I just can't live without this. You can weed really tough weeds like Creeping Charlie with it. Just get down there, get the roots out. It is very ergonomical design. So if you have any sort of hand or like wrist issues, it really helps. And so I ordered a Cobra head online, and then I found the ones that I lost in the compost pile. So now I have two, which is fine. Two is better than none. Another item I think would be great for a gardener as a gift are garden gloves. Most of us garden in garden gloves. I cannot garden without garden gloves because my skin just turns dry and looks horrible. But my favorite garden gloves are CoolJob. There is this lining that not only protects my hands from the soil, from moisture, but it has like a traction. And when I'm weeding, it helps me pull the weeds easier. So definitely check this out and maybe give a pair of these garden gloves to your favorite gardener. And then there are gifts that keep on giving, like a garden magazine subscription. And my favorite garden magazine is Fine Gardening. It has such a great combination both of horticultural information and also design information like plant combinations. And I think magazine subscriptions are such great gifts because you give it once, but then a person will be receiving it for a year or two, and I'm sure every time they get that beautiful magazine in the mail, they will remember of you. Along the lines of garden magazines are garden books, and I have a lot of garden books, as you can see right there on my bookshelves, but I'll show you my top 5 right now, and the top 5 always changes according to the season. But the first book is The Layered Garden by David Culp. David Culp is a great gardener and a great garden designer, and this book has so much inspiration. The second book is Dream Plants for the Natural Gardens. It's by Pete Odolph, and if you have a natural garden like I do, you can get so many ideas as for the plants from this book. I think this book has almost 1,000 plants, and a lot of them I've never heard of before, and I think it's important to expand our vocabulary plant-wise. So definitely a great book for that. Okay, Design Your Garden Toolkit. You're gonna have so much fun with this book. So it's basically has lots of stickers of different plants, and then you have a blank slate of your garden, and then you can design your planting beds, which is a great exercise both for beginner gardeners and also landscape designers. I actually use this book sometimes when I'm stuck with some sort of plant combination. Highly recommend. Okay, now this book right here is American Roots by Nick McCullough, Allison McCullough, and Teresa Woodard. It's a great book. I actually went to the book signing, I think it was about a month ago, and I was fortunate enough to get it signed by the authors. It has so much inspiration, so many gorgeous American gardens in this book, and guess what? Erin from the Impatient Gardeners actually featured in this book. So amazing gift idea right here. And the last book is by Marion Wilburn, is Tropical Plants and How to Love Them. I think I read this book in probably 2 hours because there was just so much information that was relevant because I grow a lot of tropical plants, both outside and inside the house. And Marion's instructions on how to keep the tropical plants and make them happy are very clear cut, and I enjoyed this book a lot. If you run out of gift ideas, you can always give plants. I think presenting something like this amaryllis in this gorgeous pot with some moss is a beautiful gift both to gardeners and non-gardeners. You can gift bulbs, seeds, house plants, like this begonia zumber here. Just find a really pretty pot up the house plant in here, and that makes an amazing gift. Or something like this. I went to a local nursery and I saw this most adorable mini hanging pot, and I put some string of turtles in here. It could make a great gift or also Christmas ornament. You can always give them a gift certificate to an online place they like to shop at, or a local place. I always think local, and I always try to support small local businesses. So my top 2 local garden centers that I like to go to are La Serra in Totowa, New Jersey, and Moss and More in Montclair, New Jersey. When I go to those places, I always find something interesting, plant-wise or pot-wise or any other garden-related items. Anyway, I hope you guys got some ideas from this video today, and I wish you very happy holidays, and thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. This magazine, my top favorite 5, my top favorite. And this is how it's done. Relevant to me in this. If you have a gardener, this is not going to work. It's too bad. It's so pretty. What is happening? See on my garden shelf. When I go in there, I always something ISAARS. Neighborhood is a La Serra. Hey guys, Yuliya here. I've never heard of